They control the sounds that can set your mind and your body free. Stick around as we discuss the life of a DJ next on Views and Vibes. The roots of the DJ, or disc jockey, can be found in the tradition of the orchestra conductor. They control the tempo and the rhythm of the music that puts your body into motion. These masters of melody have seen their profession evolve tremendously since the days of Thomas Edison. And to help us explore where DJing has been, where it is, and where it's going, we have radio personality from WPGC and XM Sirius Radio, Mr. Herkules, Queens native and local club spinner, DJ Lalee, and party DJ, music producer, and my brother from another mother, DJ Monty. Welcome you guys to Views and Vibes. Glad to have you guys here.
Thank you for having me here.
Good. I'm glad I can actually sit down. This is a conversation DJ Monty and I started having years ago. Just about what's the purpose of, DJing and what are DJs doing now. But why DJs? Why not just let your iPod play? Why not let a jukebox play at a bar? Why not just let your computer take over at the radio station? Why a DJ? Why do we need you?
I mean, if you look at the history of a DJ, going back to old school hip hop songs, the DJs set the tone for anything, a party, a movement, family reunions. They knew what records to play, depending on the mood, how to start things off. DJs were always the first one to get the new songs. They were the first ones to get the upcoming artists to come out and talk to them about whatever. So the DJs pretty much control the music scene. And me being a radio personality, one of my main things is always to respect the DJs.
Okay.
I don't care what your DJ name is, you have to respect the DJ, because at any point in time, the DJ could take the party from here, take the event from here to the bottom of the floor. So, I mean, the DJ is that crowd setter, that crowd motivator. It's that amplifier of people's thoughts and of an entire movement, and it gets into, the DJ can get into your soul and make you do things that you didn't know that you could do.
Well, I mean, if I have a lot of music on my computer and I transfer that over to my MP3 player, what's to stop me from just doing that myself? What's to say that I can't figure out for myself what I want to hear and just let it run? What do you think?
Well, I think it just goes right to what you said in the intro about being a conductor. When you think about conductor, you think about the person that's directing the orchestra. And when we take it to, the DJing aspect, you can have all of those MP3s and you can have records, you can have, this and that. But if you don't have the heart and the soul that a conductor has, and you don't have the heart and soul that a DJ has, then it's just like, somebody putting a pair of, drumsticks in your hand and telling you to play if you don't have that timing and that rhythm and that pattern and that beat matching. We were talking about it earlier, just about those things that are missing now. And, it's all about being a conductor, that heart and soul, that if you pulled the plug, it wouldn't be able to play,
When you say missing, missing from what? What's missing?
Well, just, the nitty gritty, the essence of, what DJing is, the art form, right? To be able to match your beats in time and pitch, almost like a music producer. You can't have your hi-hat up here and then your snare, just it's all out of whack. A producer has that ear to put everything in time and mix it and make it sound smooth, and that's what's missing, I think, nowadays, is just, those values,
So what are the different kinds of DJs that there are? Because obviously you have radio, you have mixer. I mean, what are the kind that you have? What are the different kinds that are out there? What do you think, Lalee?
Well, Coming from New York, I seen so much different music, so many different aspects of DJing. I have a reggae background also, like both my parents are Jamaican, and just seeing mostly of that growing up and seeing how they just bring big speakers and amps, just even in the basement, just to have the party going and just talking, making sure the crowd is hype, I think is very important, and that's my culture that I grew up in, the type of DJs I started seeing first.
So it's more of a party DJ, and that's
Yeah.
what you would consider yourself. But what
Right.
else do you have? What other kinds?
I mean, you have DJs that you have the party DJ, you have the radio DJ that can play the required records that people don't understand that they have to play on the radio that you might hear every hour and a half.
Right.
You may have the go-go DJ that gets all the latest go-go music and can play it at a go-go venue. You have DJs that can do strictly old school. You have the techno DJs. You have the house DJs. And then you have DJs that can play everything in a set, literally from classical to show tunes to TV theme songs to house to rap to whatever, and make it all fit.
Right.
I call those DJs technicians.
Okay.
Then you have the DJs that can do the crabbing and can do the spin, the tricks, and all of that. So I mean, it's various types of DJs, and if you go back and look at the history of DJing from Grandmaster Flash, who created the mixer, which most people don't know.
Yeah. The actual box.
The actual box that allowed two turntables to work together.
Right.
To now you have Serato and all these different computer software programs that allow people to DJ. It has transcended so much, and it allows people's creativities to come out in different ways.
Right. Right. Now, DJ Monty, what kind of DJ do you consider yourself?
I consider myself a mobile party DJ, but I've come up from the ranks of being a turntablist, working on scratching and just getting the bare necessities down. But like Herkules was saying, the more skilled you are in terms of incorporating scratching into your set, incorporating the technician part, incorporating the house part, the better you are as a DJ. I mean, because technology can give you all those things that you need, but like I said, without the bare necessity, without the beat matching, the time and the scratching, it's nothing. And definitely being from DC and almost being spoiled in terms of having so many different types of layers of music, from go-go to funk to even different types of genres of go-go, we're spoiled. But like I said, party DJ, to be able to hear the heart and soul of what the people are feeling without them even coming up to you and telling you, it's a spiritual gift. I definitely believe that it's a spiritual gift to be able to be that party DJ.
Yeah, I think you definitely need a direct sound to feel it. Like I could mix like a Journey song with Rick Ross, and then it will feel right. But you won't. No normal person would think of that. So you definitely need a sound and just an ear for it.
All right. When we come back, I want to talk more about the history of DJing and what it is that you guys do in terms of trying to find music and putting a good set together. So we have to go to break real quick, and we'll be right back in 2 minutes. Welcome back to Views and Vibes, y'all. If you've been living under a rock for the past couple of days or so, you probably didn't know that the godfather of go-go, Chuck Brown, just recently died. And I wanted to talk to you guys about that, you guys being DJs. What did Chuck Brown mean to you if you're from the DC area and have been here for a while? And on that same note, how do you go about selecting your music when it comes time for you to do a set or do a show? But first of all, what did Chuck Brown mean to you? Start off with.
Wow. Chuck Brown to me is go-go. I mean, he is probably one of my top two, not probably, he is one of my top two coolest cats in the DC area, period.
Right.
He and Donnie Simpson.
Okay. Can't throw Donnie in there.
Gotta throw Donnie in there. Gotta throw Donnie in there.
Right.
But being from here and actually seeing Chuck perform a couple of times and meeting Chuck through the radio station, and I mean, I don't know if people really can grasp what Chuck did, not only for this area, but for the music world.
Right.
And a lot of people say that, you know, go-go was just DC. But Chuck was probably,
worldwide.
he went world. Like, there was no other go-go artist that could go to China and Japan and do a show.
Right.
Chuck I think he went to the Tokyo Dome and sold out the Tokyo Dome, like years ago.
Wow.
Like, I don't know anybody else in the go-go scene that can do that. And if it wasn't for Chuck, there wouldn't be a lot of go-go bands right now.
Right.
And then he did things with the Roots, Jill Scott. He did things with artists on the national level. And then my biggest thing about Chuck was he finally got his Grammy nomination. And to me, that put the stamp on go-go music. That put the stamp on Chuck.
Okay. DJ Monty, how about you?
Man, Chuck Brown, it's hard to sum it up in one word, but if
Give us two words then.
2 words, positivity and call and response. Like, it's tough to even like just, you know, fathom the fact that he's not here, but positivity in terms of DC music in general gets such a bad rap, but when you spoke Chuck's name, positivity was the first thing that came to your brain.
Right.
Like, there's not gonna be any fights, there's not gonna be any shooting, there's not gonna be anybody getting trampled, because he set that marker as an artist, you know, when he was on the stage, and it just followed suit with whoever came to his show. They had to respect it. So positivity, you know, like I said, call and response. He was the, you know, dare I say, the originator of call and response. I need to know y'all are out here. You know, do you hear me? I hear y'all. How y'all feeling? You know, tell me what you feel like doing. You know, I feel like, yeah, you know, where you from? You know what I'm saying? Like, including the audience in the show. A lot of times people, they fail to including the audience in the show.
Right.
And I think Chuck was a master at that, and it's just amazing. You know, I think a lot of, you know, mainstream artists who got accolades, you know, high up, can stand to learn many lessons from Chuck, you know, at the end of the day.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm a big James Brown fan. I've been a big James Brown fan for a very long time. And I had an opportunity to see Chuck Brown and James Brown perform at, I think, the 930 Club, right before James died. And I was, I had just left my job, a full-time job, to go out and do my thing on my own. So I was broke. And so I didn't, the $30 or $40 I could have spent to go see the show, I decided just to save. And a few weeks later, you know, James Brown died, you know, and now Chuck is gone. And I have never had a chance to see either one of them perform live, you know. So that's gonna be a major regret for me for the rest of my life, but what can you do now, you know? But on the same note, in terms of talking about go-go music, how do you guys go about finding the music that you decide to play during your show, when you're doing your sets at the clubs? What's your process like for finding your music? Lalee?
Well, I go on like a special site that's kind of like for media, DJs, and I guess on-air personalities that have like the latest songs, and then I just review them, and I might download the ones that I'm interested in.
Now, with reggae especially, do you find it hard to locate certain music being here? Do you have to, you know, do you have connections back on the island? Or?
Yeah, a lot of times I do go to New York to get music too. Like I get like a mixtape from like Jamaica Avenue, New York and Queens, and see what's real popular, what's the latest thing. Even though I might not get the latest thing, because people here probably will have no clue of it.
Right.
Other than like people in New York. So, but
yeah, it's hard to find a good reggae mixtape down here, you know.
Yeah.
But hopefully you can make that connection for us now. How about you, Monty?
Well, I look at it like cooking or baking. I deal with my staples first. My staples are the feel-good music, the oldie but goodies, the Marvin Gaye Got to Give It Up, the extended version.
Right, the things that are going to get people up that you know are going to get
Exactly.
them right.
Frankie Beverly, Before I Let Go, Happy Feelings, The Butt by EU. That's your staples, you know, and then if you want to transfer it to cooking, you know, that's your salt, you know, your pepper, or your flour, and you start adding on stuff to that.
Right.
So, you know, you take, you know, what's popular, you know, your top 40, and you add it to your staples. And a lot of times too, since I'm a party DJ, I'll get contracts from, you know, corporate events, and I tell them to, you know, give me a sample playlist, like, hey, give me 5 or 10 songs that you guys have to hear, and I'll add that to what I already have. But it's basically, you know, like, you know, what she said about, you know, having your staple and then also going beyond that. And now it's tons of ways that you can get music. It's blogs, it's white label, you know, websites, it's, you know, digital record pools. So, you know, you got to
local artists.
Yeah, right. You got to start with your staples, you know, and then go from there.
Okay. Well, we have to go to a break again. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about the difference between radio DJing and club DJing and your control. So we have to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Views and Vibes, you guys. We're sitting here with 3 DJs and radio personalities who are telling us a little bit about the life of a DJ. And Hercules, I wanted to ask you more about the radio DJ. And I work with an old radio DJ, Moon Man. Moon Man's been here in D.C. since the 1840s.
Right.
And he know, I say that about him all the time. He'd be all right. And he talks about how when he was younger and he was on the air, that they had all the control. You know, people would come to them to play certain music. You know, everything had to go through the DJs back then. What happened to that? What happened to the authority of the DJ?
It's called business. It's called, you work for call letters. We're your employer. You're gonna do what we say. You're gonna play what we want you to play when we want you to play it. Say what we want you to say when we want you to say it, or you can go find another place to work.
Now, when did that happen? When did that transition happen, though? Has it been like that the entire time you've been there?
I mean,
radio?
What folks don't understand is radio is controlled. We have rating systems, which Arbitron.
Right.
So in a nutshell, our numbers can dictate and control what we can do on air and dictate what the listeners listen to.
Right.
So in order to generate revenue, we need to have high numbers. If we don't have high numbers, we don't get paid. If we don't get paid, we out of a job.
Right.
So what a lot of people do on radio now is they say, okay, I'll conform to what I need to do on the air, but when I go to a club, if it's not a live broadcast, I'm gonna do my thing.
Well, but Moon Man would often say, I can't believe I'm sitting here quoting Moon Man, but he would often say that by them having more control, more people would listen because they were listening for their personalities as well as whatever music they were gonna play.
And that's true, and that's the difference between an on-air personality and a jock. I'm an on-air personality.
Okay.
I can rock the radio whether I'm in the studio, at an event, hosting something for BET, it doesn't matter. You have people that are radio personalities that are just jocks. They can only do stuff in the studio. So being a true on-air personality and talent is one thing, being a jock is another thing. Just like being an on-air DJ an on-air mix is one thing, but being in the club and transcending what you do on the radio into the club and then some is another thing.
Right. And with you guys being club DJs, what's the competition like out there? Because I know there's so many DJs that are out there that are trying to get gigs all the time. How is it that you are able to get the gigs that you get, and how fierce of a battle is it?
I think being versatile, just having something different, that would attract people to come and see
Do you think
you.
you being a female DJ has a lot to do with what you get?
Of course, but it have its bad parts also. Like they don't think I really have that much talent. It's maybe just she have to look, or you know, she's a girl, so she might look good behind there, but is someone else really telling her what to do?
Right.
So I mean, it have its ups and downs, but definitely when I go in there and I do well, it's a lot of, I get a lot of pride, and it's a lot of pride I get it in doing that.
What about you, Monty?
Just to piggyback Hercules, business. I think that's the thing that kind of, you know, sets you apart. Just the fact that, you know, you're about your business. You're not cutthroat, but at the same time, you know what you want. You know what your value is. Once you know your value, nobody can put a price tag on, you know, who they think you are or what you need to be. And when you set that trend for yourself, there is no competition, you know, because it's kind of like, you know, the cream rising to the top. Like, this is what I demand because this is what I am, and I have a track record, I have skills. So I think that's what it is as well, business.
Now, what about mixtapes? I know growing up, you know, DJ Lalee mentioned this earlier about mixtapes. And I know growing up, you know, we had the Capris out of New York, and, you know, I was in Albany at the time, but we loved to get those mixtapes. How important is it to, as a DJ now, to produce a mixtape in order to either grow your brand or maintain your reputation? Is that something that you still do now, or is that kind of passe?
Well, I mean, I think it's still important because people still ask for a mixtape. Like, if you say you DJ and they could be promoting a party, or they could be another DJ. A lot of people still ask for mixtapes. So I'm not sure if it's outgrowing or time's passed, but I still see it definitely.
Same.
I think that it's always going to be present, and I think that just me being a DJ and a music producer, I can always find ways to put a new flavor on it. Like, I really like putting together slow jam tapes. I mean, because you got to think about it. You're setting the mode for, you know,
A romantic
a
evening.
romantic
Yes.
evening. Or
I used to do that myself in high school. Yes, I know. Yes, that was my thing too.
you know, and just being that conductor, and
Right.
you know, and then incorporating your sound effects into it, like some rain sound effects and stuff like that. But you know, I think it's always going to be popular. I think that the powers that be have tried to shut it down many, many times, but it's something that's so organic and so from the ground, you know, that you can never shut it down.
Right. Now we have to go soon, so I have one last question for you guys. What does music mean to you, and how do you try and connect that with your audience? Hercules.
Music is my life, literally, and it allows me to be Hercules and not Aaron Graves. It allows me to be my alter ego.
You have another name?
I have another name.
Oh, wow, okay. Learn something new every
It
day.
allows me not to be dad. It allows me not to be the bill payer. It allows me to get away.
Okay.
And it allows me to just relax.
Right. And Lalee?
Well, that's a hard question. Like, music is
Make
like,
it fast, though.
okay, music is like everything to me. It's like my parents, my background, my food, the moods I'm in. Like, music is just so, it's the culture. It's like, if you don't know a language, you hear something, and it will have the right beat, the right sound. Like, music is just so worldwide, and it's everything. It's everything.
And real quick, Monty.
Music is healing.
Okay. Nice. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on today and having such a great discussion about what it is that you do, and hopefully some people get something out of it. I'd like to thank DJ Lalee, Hercules, and DJ Monty for a great discussion today. You can find out more about my guests by going to our website, viewsandvibes.com. Until next time, I'm Tariiq Omari Walton, and this has been Views and Vibes.